Our next story is about Africa, about the East African nation of Uganda. Uganda is a developing country, home to about 47 million people, all looking towards progress. So Uganda needs investments to boost its economy, investments or at the very least loans. Traditionally, they've relied on loans from the World Bank, the global financial body based in the US and Washington, D.C. But now it seems Uganda has cut ties with the World Bank. It has found a new lender, Saudi Arabia's Islamic Development Bank. Uganda's finance minister was on a trip to Riyadh. He was there to attend the bank's annual meeting and to take part in negotiations. And today, their finance ministry put up this message. They've secured a loan from the Islamic Development Bank, a loan worth $295 million. The funds are earmarked for construction projects. They will go towards developing a bridge in Uganda, a bridge across a part of the Nile River. And that's not all. They will also use the Saudi money to build roads to improve connectivity. Now, all of it sounds basic enough. So why did they have to go to Saudi Arabia for this? Why not call their old friends at the World Bank? Because the World Bank has been trying to impose its will on Uganda. The country passed a law last year called the Anti-Homosexuality Act 2023. It's one of the world's harshest anti-homosexuality laws. When this law was enacted, the World Bank froze loans to Uganda. This was last year. The World Bank is now tying new funding to protections for Uganda's LGBTQ community. Now, even if the motives are good, this is blatant interference. It is still the West imposing their morals on Uganda. And we've seen time and again how the world is getting fed up of Western preaching. And Uganda is no different. So instead of accepting the World Bank's conditions, they've gone ahead and found a new partner, someone who won't hand out lectures along with the loans. That's Saudi Arabia's Islamic Development Bank. They're keeping it quite simple, focusing on the business side of things, which is why Uganda's finance minister went to Riyadh instead of Washington. And Saudi Arabia is playing it smart here, taking a leaf out of China's book. Because for a while, China was becoming the lender of choice for Africa. Chinese loans were entering almost every part of the African continent. Beijing would hand out loans, no questions asked, no preaching, no lectures, just business. But Chinese loans were always a risky bet. You could get development, but more often, you'd get saddled with a debt trap. And eventually, you have to default. Africa is full of examples of this. So for a long time, African nations had just two options: Western loans and the morality lectures that came with them, or Chinese loans and the risk of default. Now it seems there's a third option, and that is Saudi Arabia. We still don't know for sure how this will work out in the long run. While Riyadh is not likely to give lectures, there is no guarantee that it won't pull a China. But for now at least, Saudi Arabia seems to be doing all it can to promote itself as an economic powerhouse. It is presently hosting a special session of the World Economic Forum. We told you about this yesterday, how the world's business leaders have gathered in Saudi Arabia's capital. So it's no coincidence that Uganda signed its $295 million deal in Riyadh on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum meeting. It's another sign that Saudi Arabia is planning to shake up the world economy.